What if I told you Ace Combat 7 was supposed to have 6 VR missions in the PlayStation 4? You're gonna be like, well, but there's only 3 in the game. And that's right. However, it was supposed to be 6. How do I know that? Data mining. It's always those fun people who do data mining that can gather the information. So let's talk about what those missions were and what we were supposed to have that, because we didn't get that in the final game. But before we start, of course, it's important to clear up why these missions are not in the game. Based on the interviews, like the one I did with Kono or some other gaming outlets, Project Ace said that it's very hard to develop VR missions. It's quite technical. You might remember that in the beginning of the development or mid-development, they said there would be 5 missions which were cut down to 3, supposedly to save resources and time for the company. If you've been following Kono, you can see from some of his tweets and some of his messages that, let's just say that his higher-ups didn't have that much confidence in Ace Combat during development. Hence, not all resources were devoted to the game, so they had to focus on the single player, the main campaign side of the VR side. And given that they had to prioritize their development because each mission takes time and money, we only got 3. And it's worth mentioning that based on the interviews and press releases that they've had, these missions are not supposed to be in the upcoming DLCs that are coming early summer. Instead, those are gonna be available on all systems. But I don't know. The files are somewhat ready, so maybe in the future we're gonna see them, but I honestly do not know. So now let's go over the information that we know. Everything that I'll be mentioning here comes from several posts on the Ace Combat subreddit made by user Keystone Gray. He is a data miner, and he made the same post that confirmed the ADF-11F as a playable aircraft, which I talked about in a previous video. Given that he predicted the Raven before its official announcement, also some radio comms that are hard to find in the game, but I managed to find them, I would say it's a pretty trustworthy source. And all the links for these posts will be available in the description. I'm only going to be talking about the main points, but there are some other information there, so you might want to check the original as well. So as you know, missions 1 to 3 in Ace Combat 7's VR take place in Fort Grace, the Schofields Plateau, Waiapolo Mountain. For mission 4, we believe that takes place in Roca Roja, the same place as the regular campaign's mission 6. Mission 5 would take place somewhere in the Spring Sea, which is that sea that is on the southwest part of the continent of Eugia. And Mission 6 was supposed to take place in Anchorhead Bay. With the exception of the VR Mission 5, which apparently it's only the sea, I suppose, all the maps are reused and they are already in the base game. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to find the briefing and debriefing of Mission 4, but what we do know is that a fuel base believed to belong to the Free Erusia has been discovered in Roca Roja, and I want you to hit the enemy base hard and destroy all the fuel reserves. That is so far what we know about Mission 4 on what it was gonna be. I think it's the same concept of the Mission 6 in the base game, except you do it in VR. From Mission 5, things get a little bit more interesting. Let me read some of the briefing and the quotes and the debriefing as well. So, starting off, the ships look to meet in the Spring Sea to the west of the Scully Islands before heading to join Free Erusia together. Your mission is to disable them before they have a chance to join Free Erusia. The carrier strike group is made up of a carrier along with escort ships. Those escort ships make it hard to inflict any critical damage on the carrier. We expect the carrier will also launch its interceptors against you. Focus on taking them out first in order to leave the carrier undefended. We need to do all we can to take out the threat of a large-scale attack on the continent. That is the briefing for Mission 5. You see, it takes place in the sea, obviously, close to the Scully Islands, which is a historic location, in case you've known Ace Combat 1, the first one. Yeah, that's where that takes place. So basically, destroy the enemy fleet. I'm not sure if the map features the Scully Islands by themselves, or it just takes place in the sea. Now let's go over some of the dialogue from the mission. This is the legendary hero? Looks like another old man to me. That's the bullying Mobius 1 suffers. Halo 11, see for yourself. Try flying behind Mobius 1 and see if you can keep up. and there's an alternate dialogue saying, "See for yourself, Quang. Try flying behind Mobius 1 and see if you can keep up." So Halo 11's name is Quang, and I hopefully am pronouncing that correctly. Other important quotes come from, "The Ran has been sunk. Do we have any ships that can take over command?" So I suppose that's the name of one aircraft carrier, because it's, the command ship. "This is Omega 11. I'm taking fire. I think I can keep going through." "Oh, Omega, there you are again. Don't get shot down, please." "Copy. Pull back from the area. Halo 11, escort Omega 11 to safety. Mobius 1 can handle the attacks on the strike group. Viper 2, back him up. Aircraft carrier Ran should be inside and almost within striking distance. This is the Ran. We're taking fire. They've wiped out our escort ships." And by the way, the name of these Erusian ships, I'm not sure on the correct pronunciation because there's one character missing, because, the Nordic names, they have funny little symbols over them, so I'm not sure what letter it is or how to pronounce it, okay? Please understand. And that is the end of the dialogue in Mission 5. I suppose that we have two carriers, one that you see in the beginning of the mission, another one you see as a mission update. Maybe, it's another fleet is coming up. Mission updates are quite common in Ace Combat, but that's just my interpretation. I'm not sure about that. And on the debriefing we have, "The ships that broke away from the Erusian Navy have been successfully dealt with. As such, we've avoided the worst case scenario by denying 3 Erusian carrier strike groups. Groups, plural, so I suppose it's 2 of them. Let's just say those in the Erusian army trying to bargain with Free Erusia have been taught a valuable lesson." That is what we know so far of Mission 5 of Ace Combat 7, supposed to be VR mission, so destroy the carriers. And let's talk about Mission 6, the Anchorhead Submarine Defense. So the briefing states, "Free Erusians have engaged in military operations and invaded the harbor city of Anchorhead Bay. They're probably trying to compensate for their lack of numbers by acquiring ballistic missile capabilities. I want you to provide them with support. You need to eliminate all enemy aircraft and secure air superiority. Here's the situation. The Free Erusian ground forces are advancing on the city from both the north and south. If captured, the Kraken will probably try to scuttle itself. We can't let these terrorists get their hands on the submarine." So from what I understand is there's a submarine in Anchorhead Bay that the Free Erusians are trying to capture to get, those ballistic missiles for themselves. And let's go over the dialogue. "This is the Red Bear Squadron. I don't know how much longer we can hold the line. If so, we can't bomb it, and we can't let them scuttle it either." Suppose they're referring to the submarine. You cannot attack the submarine. "Free Erusia's vehicles have already reached the dock. They've reached the gate and are inside the facility. Damn those Free Erusians. They knew exactly when this sub would be unable to move." So I suppose, it's doing the maintenance in the dock. "I thought the Kraken's inspection schedule would have been classified information. Arcane Leader, this is Arcane 2, we've spotted the enemy. It's the Ribbon Fighter. Viper 2, I've been hit. I can still fly, but I'll be slowing you down. Halo 11, I want you to come in home in one piece. Fall in behind Mobius 1. Halo 11's name was Quang. It means light, apparently." So I suppose Halo 11 died. Oh no, that's such a sad story. It was supposed to be Omega, because it's a tradition already, the bailout master. But I guess if you are something 11, that's a death number in Ace Combat. So don't pick 11 as your number. "Electronic warfare aircraft above you. Shoot it down to return radar to normal. All jammer aircraft down. Radar is fully operational once again." I don't think we've seen any jammer aircraft in the regular campaign of Ace Combat 7. However, the same dataminer, Keystone Grey, he put a list of interesting aircraft that appear in the files of the games, and among them we've seen the F-18 Growler, which is the electronic warfare version of the F-18, which I don't see in the game, but I suppose it would show up in the VR campaign right now in Mission 6, so I suppose that's where it would come in. It's not in the game, so we're supposed to see the Growler, I suppose. And the last radio dialogue that I think is important in this mission is, "We pretend to be ghosts, but that guy really is the Grim Reaper." Now this is important because if you recall from Mission 3 in the VR, we fight the Ghost Squadron, and apparently they come back, I suppose, in Mission 6. So, they make their return. I'm not sure if they're using, the same aircraft as they fly the Sukhoi 57, the Package A, But yeah, there's also some other dialogues that they're kind of important, but they're not that important. That's why I did not include. But you know, they talk about some of the characters. You know, we have the Red Bear Squadron, the Melatonin Squadron, and some other stuff. And for the debriefing of Mission 6, we have determined that the Kraken subs captain, Freddy Crofts, was communicating in secret with the Free Erusians. Oh my god. And we lost Second Lieutenant Van Quang Nguyen, radar signal, and we're still searching for him and his aircraft. So that's what we know so far of the debriefing. I think we were supposed to have more information, but I think unfortunately Datamining couldn't find our quotes. So yeah, those submarine captains talking of the Free Erusians, treachery. And it doesn't mean that Halo 11 is dead, I suppose, but he's probably dead. But and it kind of leaves the game open-ended for continuation that could have happened. But this is what we know so far on the dialogue. In the VR voice scripts, we see, you know, who was talking. We don't know exactly what quotes they had, but we see, you know, enemy ground base A through, you know, N, so several different speakers, enemy helicopters, because we did see Mission 3, never mind. We also see the VR Ghost Leader, Halo 11, Omega 11, and Quang. Halo 11 and Quang are the same person, so I suppose they put the two call signs. I'm not sure which one they would have picked for the game. But anyway, guys, this is what we were supposed to have in Ace Combat 7's VR campaign if they made it to what they were planning, which were 6 missions. They sound pretty interesting. I would love to especially fly in the last one, because you'd have, you know, radar jammers, possibly ballistic missiles, or, you know, in the submarine flying the anchorhead, which probably be at night. That would be really fun. But unfortunately, it did not end up happening, and I can only hope in the future these missions will come for us. But anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed. Now you have the knowledge of what's supposed to happen, thanks to Keystone Grey for his data mining. Thank you so much. The full band of our team. Please don't get shut down. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.